Welcome to our INCAF podcast, where we delve into district heating and the climate crisis. This podcast focuses on dissecting the ambition, evolution, and challenges of district heating systems as we combat the climate crisis. District heating, also known as a heat network, is a system that uses a singular central heat source to distribute hot water through a network of insulated pipes to multiple individual dwellings. The structure is usually used to fulfill heating and hot water requirements in apartment complexes. The source of that heating can be renewables, fossil fuels, or waste to heaters with the Edmonton incinerator. Community heating is about supplying heat to a relatively small development of one or perhaps two buildings with multiple dwellings, such as a multi-story block or sheltered housing complex. However, district heating has wider objectives, distributing large-scale sources of heat over a large area and connecting multiple buildings in a heat network. The idea is that supplying a heat network from these large-scale sources will be more efficient and hopefully lower carbon than individual or single-building heat generation. Unfortunately, evidence to date in the UK suggests the opposite. Inefficient distribution, and/or plant that fails to perform as intended, has resulted in schemes that are not efficient or low carbon at all. In some case studies recently collated by Innovate UK monitored losses in district and communal heating systems equaled or exceeded 50% of all heat supplied. In one development, the overall system efficiency stood at 40% and 46% for 2 successive years. Assuming the boilers performed at the quoted 90% efficiency, system losses will have accounted for 45 to 50% of all the energy consumed. And then there are the concerns raised by residents over risks from district heating networks, as in one case a London home was devastated by exploding radiators, a stark reminder of the potential dangers of poorly maintained DHNs. This highlights what can happen when the promise of sustainability meets the reality of aging infrastructure and lacks oversight. While the appeal of DHNs includes cutting emissions and potentially reducing energy costs, the flip side reveals residents trapped with unaffordable bills, shoddy service, and no easy way out of long-term contracts that lock them into these systems as soon as they buy property within their reach. The issue is compounded by the fact that consumers can't easily seek redress for poor service, as the sector remains largely unregulated. So as we wrap up, we're reminded that the road to emissions reduction and sustainable living is fraught with complex challenges that require vigilance, commitment, and timely action. We appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, take care and continue to engage with the crucial topics surrounding our climate and the systems that support our everyday lives. Thank you for listening.